Here we go. We're ready. All right, Julia, welcome. Welcome to Chat About Sand. Lovely to
Thank
see
you.
you again.
Yes, it's wonderful to see you as well. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So we spoke now. How long ago would it have been? 3, 4 years ago?
I think it was three, yeah,
3 years
because I
ago?
just started my dissertation.
That's right. And now you're Dr. Julia Knack.
I am, yes. I finished that about a year and a half ago. So that is officially done, which is wonderful. I'm glad
Yeah,
it's done.
yeah. And you thought that wasn't enough writing, so you decided to then write a book on top of being a mum, a practitioner, and all of the other things that come with being a mum and a woman and a therapist and so many more. So
Yes.
the title of the book is This Is How I Rise: Fragments of Loss, Survival, and Self. I'd love to deep dive into just that title because I feel it here in my heart, and I feel a sadness, but I also feel a strength as well.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get choked up and I'm gonna try my best not to. So this summer my family went through a lot. We
Mm,
had some pretty huge tragedy happen. And as a therapist, we have to figure out how to take care of ourselves. And so what started as a tragedy has as is not. My family's doing well and we're coming up the other side of it. But the book was born out of trying to figure how to move forward, and still be a therapist and still show up for other people while I had all of this going on in the background, while I was responsible for more than anybody should ever have to be responsible for. And so that was where the title came from. Kind of just figuring out how do you move forward in a really big time of unknown and kind of constant chaos. Um,
which ties into that whole role of the therapist and self and how that's intertwined. You can't separate out. I mean, we can be the witness, we can sit in that stillness, we can observe our clients, but then we've got things like transference, countertransference, we've got that felt sense, we've got all of
mhm.
those things that we experience, and then more so as Sandtray therapists, because it's
Yeah,
that depth psychology, isn't it? It goes deeper, deeper.
yeah,
Wow.
absolutely. Yeah, the
Wow.
sand was my solace this summer. It's
Yeah.
where I did my work so that I could still show up for others and still show up for my family as I needed to.
Yeah. So I was wondering if you could read a little from your book. I think you said you had a poem that you would read.
Sure, yeah. So this is I'm going to tell you about, can I tell you about the image
Oh,
on the
yeah,
front
Phoenix. Is
first?
that a phoenix
It
or?
is a phoenix. So this phoenix is actually one I made. It's a Sandtray miniature, believe it or not. And
Oh,
I made it at my one of my closest dear friends, Alicia Denham from Mama Owl Minis. And so I went to my one vacation was down to see her to do some Sandtray trainings in Florida this summer. And she kind of knew what was going on with my family and all, and she let me make my phoenix. And so that is the phoenix I made this summer in the midst of all of it. God bless her. She was sweet enough to let me come down and create even more from just the poems to the Sandtray miniature, and that's kind of what came from being down with them from a week, which was wonderful.
mm,
So
wow.
it is a
It
homemade
sounds
miniature.
life-saving.
It was, and now my clients get to use it. Now the individuals I see get to use it. It's been put on my shelf. It didn't get it didn't go there right away, but it's been
Mhm,
put on my shelf so that other individuals can use it now as well.
And
Um,
how does that feel when they use it?
Um, so I've done it with some other miniatures I've made through some other of my challenges, and I will tell you initially there's this, you're using it wrong. I don't want you to use it that way. And so then I have to take a step back and be like, it's not your tray. You have to get back out of that role. And now I love to see how they use it because the is such a powerful piece in itself and what it can represent, and the transformation that comes with the Phoenix. So now I love to see it. I get excited when people are, we're going to use this one, because it's such a wonderful, and it's not a small one, so it's a rather big Phoenix. So when it gets used, I always take a deep breath and be like, okay, we're doing the right things here. We're on a good path.
It's amazing. It is an interesting symbol because there is that the collective meaning and the personal meaning. And
Yeah.
so that's what we juggle as a therapist. We know, or we should understand the collective meaning of all our symbols, then let that go, stand
Hmm.
back, and then allow the client to use that symbol for their own personal meaning. I think that's
Yeah.
kind of where we, as Sandtray therapists, sometimes we get caught out. We might stand there and
Yeah.
go, "Oh, I know what's going on." And then they may tell a story and you'll go, "Oh, that's not what I was thinking."
That
Get
went a
out of your head.
completely different way.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
I think that's the beauty of sand. I think, it offers these so many different interpretations, and yet none of them are, none of them matter because it's what the client needs it to be. And so it can change every time you build. And I think that's the beauty of it. I think that's the
That's
beauty of being able to put it in the sand and have the images there to support what you need it for.
That's right. And I think when a phoenix goes in, we often talk about a series of sand worlds, and that phoenix is has to rise, doesn't it? So where is it
Yes.
before it goes into the tray?
Yeah.
Is it under the sand? Is it,
Hmm.
it's still stuck or locked in or not ready to rise yet? So it's, in the ether. It's kind
Yeah.
of exciting when you see these symbols emerge and rise and transform and change. And yeah, and that's why it's important to, I guess, once again, to understand the depth of the meaning that these symbols can carry. Even if it's a chair,
Absolutely.
like think of Gestalt,
Right.
empty chair.
Yeah.
Oh,
Empty
who's on
chair.
the
It's
chair?
who's on the chair? Who's not on the chair? Who wasn't invited, right? I think all of those things become a possibility when you deal with all of that. So,
All right. So read us your poem.
sure. So I'm going to read one of the poems here. It's called "Serves Us Suffering." And again, I'm going to do my best to get through this without breaking down at all,
Big
because
deep breath. Breathe in,
yes.
breathe out.
Thank you. All right. So nothing really has gone the way I thought it should. I don't know now what's taken hold of me. The roads I dreamed of were paved with light, turned into shadows I could no longer see at night. I curse the silence. I curse the rain. I beg the night to ease, even erase my pain. But every wound that split me wide became a map I walked inside. For suffering served me truths I thought I lost, the weight of love, the worth of cost. It carved me hollow, all while it filled me whole, a quiet fire trying to guide my soul. Now, when the storm rises, I do not flee. I embrace what it tries so hard to teach me. That even pain can make us new. It's the healing that happens when it's through. And then there are Sandtray prompts that go with it, but that was one of my favorite ones.
The,
So,
the, the word that's coming to me are the two words transformational growth or
yeah,
transpersonal growth,
yeah,
which ties back to the phoenix,
yeah.
doesn't it? The rising, the ashes, the Ouroboros, life,
Hmm.
death, transformation of self. And I know these are kind of Jungian type words, but I think we can move on from that split of sand play and sand tray. I think this is a really nice way to integrate the two and use
Hmm.
those different terms to bring it to that understanding that sits within your poem,
Yeah.
that real ability to go deep down into that unconscious realm. Yeah. Wow. Beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah. Do you want to see the image that went with it? I'd be more than happy to.
Yes,
If
please.
so, I'm not sure how well they'll show up. But so those were the images from my Sandtray. So the book itself has my own personal builds in all of it.
Hmm.
And so,
So what have we got here? Talk me through this. This is my supervisor brain coming in now. Oh,
yeah.
right. Talk me through.
Yeah. So on one side, I have kind of Adam and Eve, right? So they're kind of figures. And then I have Lady Justice here. And then in the background here, I have just this beautiful free-flowing dancer.
Hmm.
And she's kind of caught, you can see over here, she's kind of caught back with the light. Um, but the individual has
Oh,
to kind
she's
of get past.
illuminated.
She's illuminated, yeah. But the individual, the way I was kind of building what I needed, you have to get past all of the unknown, right? You have to get
Mm.
through Lady Liberty and you have to get through the chaos of Adam and Eve and just kind of what all of that represents. Being
Well, just
born,
Well, just
taking,
sticking with Lady Liberty, I mean,
yeah,
there is injustice in
hmm
justice. There is that
yeah,
finding that balance as well. There
hmm
is that open seeing. You need to see what's laid on the table, and in
yeah,
that seeing that can cause the trauma. Sometimes
hmm
I really, Julia, sometimes I envy people that walk around in through life like this, just blinking. What? The
blinking and
sun's
ignoring,
fallen down? No.
right? Yeah. And justice was a big theme this summer for me, in fairness, right? And we spent a lot of nights in the ICU trying to figure out how things were fair and how things, and I think that became one of the big themes again is understanding like it doesn't have to make sense right now, but it eventually will.
Mm,
And the light, there is light on the other
mm,
side of this. Might
mm,
not be able to see it. I'm not
mm,
standing. You can see they're not standing 100%
mm,
correct. They're
mm.
holding on, but it's still there.
Yeah, well, you do have the tension of opposites there with
Mhm.
the free flowing lady who's just
Yeah.
gone, oh well, que sera, sera, whatever will
Yeah.
be, will be. But
Yeah.
justice is holding firm. No, we
hmm
need to know. And I think part of the human condition, and especially someone like yourself, if I can, be so blunt to say, you are intelligent. And so that intelligence, that IQ is going to play a role in everything that you do, you feel, you think, your whole life. You're going to be, I know you're very creative as well. You've got this wonderful, neural loop, left, right, creative logic, but you're smart, so you're gonna ask lots of questions.
Yeah. And I always I love questions, right? I think we all, well, I do. But it can be a detriment at times. And I think that
Mm,
was some of the struggle this summer was, am I asking the right questions?
mm,
And then do I need to know all of this? Because people I love to learn and I love to understand, and not all the information you need in those moments. Some of it can actually be more damaging than good. And being
yeah,
able to sit
yeah,
with some of that unknown.
yeah, yeah. And that's where that free flowing lady comes in, the
hmm
dancer. I'll just take
Yeah,
it as it comes. So
yeah.
what's your if I mean you've written a book, so I hope it's all right. I can ask these
Yeah,
questions. It's all out there,
absolutely,
right?
please. Yeah, it's all out there. So not much I'm going to do about it now.
No, no, too late now. So what is Adam and Eve to you, for you?
You know, they represented this innocence and yet this level of responsibility, right? And so this innocence in that where they come from, don't eat the apple, all of that other fantastic stuff, and being able to stay on the right path, and do the right thing. And yet at the same time, there's just this element of, for me, kind of like Pandora's box. What if? What if we've done the right things? We've done all that we could, and yet somebody still ate the apple and it didn't go the way we wanted it to, for lack of better terms. Um, and so it was just this struggle with this lack of really understanding why things happen. Again, going back, and which is why they were kind of diagonal from Lady Liberty is how come this happened when we were doing the right things. We were doing all of the things that we're supposed to do as normal everyday people, and yet something um, kind of came in like the apple and knocked us off our butts.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think there's a lot of that happening currently. So certainly in my world of awareness, there's a lot of people who are walking around with questions and not getting many answers, which sort of sounds like your story. And I think that segues really nicely back into the title of your book. This is
Yeah,
how I rise, fragments of loss, survival, and self. You
yeah,
know, and it's really it's it's sad, but um it's tremendous as well if you can learn from those experiences. And you know, if we see loss as someone that has left this world, then it's a beautiful way to honor their loss, you know.
yeah.
And I think way too much we look at grief and loss and depression and anxiety as these dark things, you know, take a pill, you
Hmm.
know, that's your disorder, that's who you are.
Yeah,
Where in your story, it's like, no, this is where I am right now. And let me stay here because I got to make sense of it.
yeah.
And like the phoenix, you rose out of it, but you took with it the good, the bad, the ugly, the everything, and yeah, you kind of recreated yourself personally, I guess, because you can't change from.
No, it's my new norm, right?
Mm. Yeah, it's your narrative now. You know,
Hmm.
I think I always say to my students, if you can sit in that darkness, if you can sit in that hole of depression, whatever it is, I just call it this big black hole. If you can sit there with your clients, don't do
Hmm.
anything. Just say to them, it's okay.
Yeah.
You know, if you can hold the space of your clients in the worst of them and just witness that and be there with them. And then when they're ready, they'll step out. But if we haven't done that as a therapist or as an individual, just as a person, if we haven't done that ourselves, how can we allow our clients to do it?
Absolutely.
So
We don't trust, yeah, we don't trust ourselves. We don't trust the process. We don't
yeah,
trust what it can hold.
yeah, yeah. So it's almost like the more you've had in life adversities that's been thrown at you, potentially the more you can hold as a therapist.
Yeah. I think it gives us a different way of showing up.
Mm,
I
yeah.
think it offers a level of empathy that maybe you couldn't offer beforehand.
Do you think that goes into the whole realm of wounded healer?
I do believe it does. I don't see how it couldn't, right? I
Mm,
think um I know part of my journey into doing therapy, into doing counseling, has been because I wanted to understand some of my own medical traumas, some of my own experiences myself, and kind of being able to use what I've learned as a way to help others. I think it those of us that do it well are wounded healers. I
mm,
don't think it's something you can escape.
absolutely. And it's not it's not something that you read about a lot in the more psychological books, is it?
Mm-mm. No. Mm-mm.
Yeah. Mm,
Which I think was part of the inspiration for this book. Um, the opening goes into how use it, right? If you're a
mm,
counselor, if you're somebody for self-help, use it. Let the poems guide you and the Sandtrays give you the images. Let it be your own version of your own healing because we all need it.
mm,
Whether or not we want to admit it becomes something different. But I don't know anybody who comes out of this world unscathed. And so being able to share it on a different level and accepting it on a different level becomes so powerful.
Absolutely, absolutely. I had a question for you. It's something that's been popping up a lot. Imposter syndrome.
Mm.
What's your take on imposter syndrome?
Um, I will tell you, in the beginning of my career, I think I had that all of the time. I never felt, and I blame some of that on my schooling. I never felt like I knew enough, um, that I was good enough, and some of that goes back to my own medical stuff, right? That I was good enough to be doing what I was doing, um, and what I've learned as I've gotten older, and as I've had my own kids, is that if I just show up, then I'm going to be good enough. And then I don't have to fix and solve any or everything. That me being me is okay. And that some people will work wonderfully with me and some people won't. And that's okay as well.
Love it.
But it's taken me a little bit to get there. It wasn't like that in the beginning. I wanted to help and do everything. And I think it's been through my own process that where I've learned that I'm not an imposter. This is
Mm.
kind of what I was meant to do. Um,
Mm,
and I'm going to do it my way. And if I don't do it my way, then I become an imposter.
mm. Oh, I like that. If you don't, yeah, okay, yeah. So stand in your own authority, be authentic
Yeah,
is the key to imposter syndrome. I always say to my students, you are enough.
absolutely.
I keep it real simple. And then I
Yeah,
have to turn around and say that to myself as well.
absolutely. I think it was Dr. Sue Johnson, and I don't remember where this stat is, but I know she's done research, God rest her soul, when she was alive on when she was doing research for couples, 85% of people have either I don't matter or I'm not good enough negative cognition.
Wow.
Um, and so it's leading back into we all have those terrible thoughts about ourselves. I don't know where they all come from, but somebody's either I don't matter or I'm not good enough.
Mm,
And so how we show up for ourselves also demonstrates how we let others show up and be more authentic to themselves.
mm.
We all
I
have the
think,
same insecurities.
yeah, and I think it's often in those early years, those significant early years where one person, one significant other person says something to you and it stays in the body.
Hmm.
You know, it could be a mother, it could be a father, it could be an uncle, it could be a sibling, it could be a teacher, and
Yeah.
you just believe it. And I hope that works both ways, but just in this, in this conversation, if someone says to you, you're not good enough, you can carry that. And we see that in sand worlds, don't we? We can
Hmm.
see that coming out in sand worlds, and we see it in the form of what? Mistrust,
Hmm.
identity crises, because it's across the age, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
if you have mistrust in early childhood, that's going to
It's
continue,
going to show up everywhere. Yeah.
it will show up everywhere. Yeah, yeah,
It's a lot of the shadow work, right? All of those fears and insecurities that show up.
yeah, absolutely. And I wonder, and I'm really curious about your take on this. Do you think that Sandtray therapy, amongst all the other therapies, can restore trust?
Yes, I do. And I do that from a personal stance. I've worked in the sand. I've done EMDR, I've done brain spotting, I've done lots of therapies for myself. Like we were talking about, we're all wounded healers. And so, um, for me, the sand has always been a safe place to even explore what trust might look like.
Mm,
And for me to figure out how to move forward, um, in trusting. And I think the key there is trusting myself. At least for me, my personal journey is how do you trust yourself to move forward, right? You can't move on because if we move on, it's like it never happened. But how do I integrate some of this to move forward? And how do I trust this part of myself that I'm going to show up and that I'm going to know what to do next? And I think once you start trusting yourself, it becomes easier to know how to trust others with things.
So, technically speaking, how does that start? Does that start with trusting, building trust, that therapeutic alliance with the therapist? Does it start with trusting the sand, the symbols, or does it start with the therapist trusting the sand and the symbols? Where?
What, I'm going to go back to Carl Rogers and say it's the relationship, right? I think it has to be the relationship. If the individuals I see in therapy don't trust, at least have enough faith in me, maybe not trust me 100%, we're not going to get anywhere. And so
Mm,
it becomes on, which me then leading into trusting myself to be authentic, to be able to show up, to be able to hold space for them the way they need it held. And it's very individualized, right? Because how I show up for one person is not going to be how I show up for another person. And it's me being able to trust myself that I know how to do that. And once that can be established in the relationship, then it becomes fun, I think, right? The sand just adds this whole element of we're going to go deeper, and you might not understand it, and I'm sure as heck not going to understand it, but we're going to have fun in this process of exploring yourself.
absolutely. But as you're talking, I'm thinking about, the role of the therapist. And, um, as you know, we have this graduate program. And so I get this amazing experience to work for a whole 12 months with graduates.
Yeah,
It is so, I'm the luckiest woman in the whole wide world. And I
absolutely.
watch these graduates grow, but I watch their ruptures because they're already professionals in their own right,
Yeah,
whichever lane they've come from, whether it's educators or psychologists or counselors or social workers, they're already got it. And then
hmm
they step into the world of Sandtray therapy and they go, oh.
yeah,
Because
absolutely.
you and I, and all the other Sandtray therapists, we make it look easy, right?
hmm
And then they have to relearn. They have to learn to not just listen, but feel, embody.
hmm
And
Absolutely.
then the big one for everyone, us included, I think, is how am I going to know what all these symbols mean?
Oh, I get that question all the time.
And then the relational functioning with the symbols, and that
Yeah.
all the shadow work, that it's there's a lot to know. So I think
hmm
as two therapists, Sandtray therapists speaking with each other, we get all that the humanistic approach, the person-centered approach, the Rogerian skills that go with sitting with that client and being with. But I have to laugh when I listen to students or I get their feedback and they go, well, I don't know, Fiona. I don't know what happened in that session. This is in our role plays. I don't know what happened in that session because that one piece went in there and I looked at it and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. And that's the greatest lesson. You just
Yeah.
said it. Just show up. It doesn't
hmm
matter. It's about them, not you.
Yeah.
But the,
Yeah.
the symbol work in Sandtray therapy can be so overwhelming.
It can. I get asked all the time, what does this symbol mean? And what does this symbol mean? I said, did you ask the client what it meant? Because I can tell you maybe a global overview,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
did you ask them what it meant to them? Because my meaning might mean nothing to them. They might
Yes.
put a box in it. It might have been a bear, and I'm okay with
Yeah.
that.
Yes. Yes.
And so I always laugh at that. Like, did you ask? Like, did you explore what it felt like for them with this image? Did you check in with where they were experiencing it in their body as they're doing all this? That's what you need to know. But again, when you're fresh into this world of mystery that sand can be, it can be overwhelming and it can be like, I don't know how to do this and I'm just gonna sit.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Oh, wow. Hindsight. It's such a wonderful thing, isn't it?
It is. I think we have the luxury of knowing that now, right? We have had the luxury of doing this long enough to say, oh, we don't have to, that's not a worry. I have other worries now, but
Yeah.
that's not one of my current ones.
I think as well, if you take it back to the brain, it would be interesting to splice our brains and just see where all that symbol knowledge sits and how different our brains are from being pre-Sandtray therapists to being Sandtray therapists. And it would probably be similar with artists, I suppose,
Yeah.
you know, because I can just sit and I can look and I can feel and
Hmm.
I guess there's intuition would be part of it as well. I don't like it when people think that I'm psychic or clairvoyant and I'm doing a reading. I don't know. Have
Yeah.
you had that experience?
Knock on wood, I have not, but watch me get that now that I'm going to have to email you, be like, I got it. I didn't like it.
Oh, no, you really need to fall back on your vast knowledge and this is where I guess the training comes in as well, Julia, and that's to scaffold your knowledge with theory to be able to come back and say, no, 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 I'm not just feeling and intuiting or reading. Yes,
Mhm.
we are reading because it's a language, but we are using all our senses and all our knowledge and we're scaffolding it and bringing it back to what is that unmet need?
Yes.
What is that unmet need? And that's not something that we have to know. But when you're doing your training, if you understand that that's what you're looking at, because you're not going to get people that come in and go, no, nothing wrong with me, my life's great. We don't get those clients, do we?
No, we don't.
No,
Ugh.
no. Trauma, complex trauma, unmet needs,
Mhm.
grief, loss, so many human conditions. So
Absolutely.
tell me about your training. What's happening with you with your training?
Sure. So I have recently opened my own training center here
Mhm.
in Baltimore. Super excited about that. And we have a specialized Sandtray wing, which we do live and we do hybrid trainings in sand. And I'm so excited for it because in at least where I'm at in Maryland, there's only like two or three of us that do Sandtray. We have some that do sand play, but we don't, and then we have some that do it within play therapy itself. So we don't have a lot of really devoted sand tray therapist, or sand therapist, right? And so I'm loving that I've been able to kind of reach this goal of mine and being able to open this training center um, and do some of this deeper level work to teach others just how powerful it can be. And I think that's been part of my journey as well, is being able to know what I know both personally and professionally and pass that on.
Mhm, mhm. So what type of therapists or practitioners do you train? Where are they coming from? How do they find you? What's in the air there in Baltimore?
Sure. So a lot of them use our website. And so they go, it's mycrossingpaths.com. And so they go onto our website and find us. We have some local, I've had people attend from Hong Kong. I've had people attend from South Africa. I've had people from the UK and other places, depending on time,
Mhm.
attend. And, and so
You'll
it's been
probably have a few
wonderful.
more from Australia when we put this
That
up
would be
as well.
wonderful. Yeah, I love it. I'll do a training. We'll figure out time zones. I'm not good with time zones.
No, we know.
But
We know that.
yes, I do my best. But then kids happen and I lose track of days and time so quickly.
Oh, funny.
And so we've had quite a few, and I've kind of traveled some to do some trainings, which has been super fun. I love being able to go in person and really meet and sit with people and do it because I think there is something about being in person and being able to show up.
Yeah, it's very
It
important.
just makes it so
Very
powerful.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, I think we can both agree that online only trainings doesn't quite cut it.
It doesn't have the same experience, but you know, in certain areas, I get not being able to travel. I'm sure in Australia, you guys have the same thing. You can't travel a whole day just to do a training. The expense is just so.
Mm,
Um, so we try to make it as accessible
mm,
as
mm,
possible. Um,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, it is there is that difficulty and that's why we did the international diploma with the which ties back to what you were saying with training Sandtray therapists because there's sand play therapists, there's play therapists who all use the sand, but I think um, we use it differently. We do it differently. I think we have more of a depth of understanding of it, of the power of it, and so not anything against the play or the sand play therapists how they use it. I mean, it's all relative, um, but we do it using it in a pluralistic manner, which means it can be used across a broader spectrum with a broader scope of clients. And we can understand it on that spectrum a little bit um, better, as in we can use it for. I mean, let's face it, nowadays you've got to do reporting, you've got to, say to your manager or the government or whoever, yes, this tick, 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 this is what's going on. And so I think we have got a better eye on that as Sandtray therapists to be able to go, well, actually, my working hypothesis is that this and this and this is what's going on. And then you can write your report around that, and that's where you get your funding. That's just a how of the world that we live in, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah,
Fortunately and
yeah,
unfortunately.
yeah. So I will get you over some of those assessment rubrics that we've done here in Australia in our CAN document. And yeah, it'd be nice to do some sort of collaboration, do something.
I think absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, 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 for sure, for sure. So how are we going for time? It's 12:30 here. What's the time there?
8:30. 8:30 in the evening.
8:30
So
in the evening.
yeah,
Yeah,
I think we're a day
fantastic.
behind you still.
Yeah, oh, Australia's ahead of everyone except for in politics, health, well-being. Whoops, beep. Actually, our weather's good though.
I was going to say right now I have snow on my front yard, so I'm not sure.
Is it snowing there, is it?
It snowed the other yesterday evening and so there it's still cold enough that it's still there and I was like, "Oh, I'm done with this part of the year already."
Oh no. Yeah, well, we'll have bushfires soon.
Mm.
We've already had a few and a few
Oh,
droughts
yeah.
happening. I've already bought 4 loads of water in the last couple of weeks. So yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Um, yeah, but anyway. Um, so I'll put a link to your trainings under this talk and a link to your website as well. So anyone in Australia or anyone that's listening to this can jump on and have a look at your trainings, reach out to you if they're in the Baltimore area or within a I don't know what 100-kilometer distance. They can come and do some training. Um, but I'm really excited that we can, start doing more together and sharing resources and getting Sandtray therapy on everyone's lips.
Yes,
You know,
absolutely. Yeah.
I
I think
sometimes
it's
say
needed.
it is needed, and I say to people the day will come when you're looking at job advertisements and it's like wanted Sandtray therapist.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Take out play therapist, take out EMDR, right? All of that. It'll be sand and that'll be nice. It
Straight sand
needs to be up
therapist.
there. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. So what are you doing for Christmas?
For Christmas, we have our families over. So I will be cooking. Whew, that's a lot. So I cook, which is, I love cooking.
Hmm.
So we will be doing all of that here at our house. I will say my husband loves to decorate. And so our house, people come from around the neighborhoods to come look at our house because it is decorated, head to toe, both outside and inside,
Love it.
for Christmas. And
Love
so
it.
it's nice because I don't need overhead lights. It's a nice Christmas glow that goes through the house.
I can see that in the background. It's going different colors. I'm like,
Yep, that's the Christmas light.
did I have something in my coffee or is this Julia's room?
Yep. Nope, it's the Christmas tree lights, and we have different colors on different levels of the house. And this time of year, I just go with
Oh,
it.
beautiful. So what's for dinner? What's Christmas dinner or do you do lunch?
We do a lunch brunch. So I make some apple fritters. We do some cheese. We do some egg casserole. We do I make pancakes, you name it. The menu changes every year. I get a request for my apple fritters every year. And so
They do
that's
sound
kind of
good.
yeah, it's kind of the one thing that stays. So we do that. It'll be whatever I feel like cooking this year, which is, I love baking and cooking. So we'll see
Wonderful.
what shows up.
Yeah, wonderful. Look, it's been absolutely amazing having this chat with you, and thank you so much. And I guess I should say anybody that's listening that is a Sandtray therapist or somebody that you know that you can recommend, let's keep this going and get the word
Yeah.
out there, and let's keep on chatting with each other. And I'd be happy to talk to any of your colleagues and
Yeah.
get the word out there and yeah, get the family spirit happening, hey?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I would love to.
All righty. Well, thank you for joining me, and we'll meet up soon. Lovely. Maybe I'll come to Baltimore.
Yes,
Maybe you.
absolutely. If you don't want to come in the snow, now is not a good time, but
No, I'm
spring
not
is
good in
always
cold.
much nicer.
I'm not good in cold. No, no. Or
If
maybe
not, I'll come to Australia.
yes, yes. Come to
I need to come
Australia.
back. It's
Yes,
been
you
a
do.
while.
And we've got people asking about an Australian conference, and I'm just one person. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
That is something maybe we can do with WASP. We're looking for an
Oh,
international location next year. So
oh,
maybe.
actually, that would be amazing. Yeah, because I know I've had chats here and there over the years, and then, we had a crazy era of lockdowns, and oh
Yes.
boy. Yeah, no, that sounds okay. We'll keep on talking then.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Thank you. Thank
Of
you.
course. Thank you.
Beautiful. All right. So stop recording. Well done. That was great.
Thank you.
That was really good. Stop recording. Are you sure? Oh, now I'm